Hey guys, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina with another Sunday night live stream show. That's right, it's Sunday night, y'all, and it's time for that live stream show. Hopefully you guys are ready for another great episode of our Sunday night show. We're going to be talking fishing, giving you some photos of what we've been catching, talk a little bit about the weather, answer your questions live during the show, and of course, giving away over $800 in free fishing trips. That's right. It's Sunday night, 8:30 p.m., and it's time for Off the Hook with Captain Hubbard. First, want to start by giving a shout-out to our friends over there at Gator Jim's Tackle. Gator Jim's Tackle, 3301 Pinellas Point Drive, South in St. Pete. If you haven't stopped in to see our friends over at Gator Gyms, make sure you do so. Tell them Hubbard's Marina sent you. If you bring a young angler with you, you get a free gift if you stop in to Gator Gyms and tell them Hubbard's Marina sent you. Also want to give a shout out to all of those sending stars. Really appreciate all the star senders. Tony Barnes, Christine Chirac, really appreciate you. Craig Robinson and everybody else. I think I saw Richard Blasak in there too. Definitely super appreciate all the star senders on Facebook. If you're not watching on Facebook, stars are just a way for people watching live on Facebook to show their support. D Beers, appreciate those stars. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate y'all greatly. So thank you for showing your support, and also for all of those subscribers who are watching tonight. If you're a supporter on our supporters group, really appreciate you guys as well. Definitely makes it a lot easier for us to do cool things and get more interesting technology for our live stream show. So thank you so much, all of you, for watching. Anthony Barnes, thank you very much for those stars. Appreciate you, buddy. Tim Dykes with 500, thank you so much. So, Gator Jim's Tackle, 3301 Pinellas Point Drive, South in St. Pete. Nick Wyatt and all those sending stars. Appreciate you guys. And, of course, our supporters group. If you haven't checked out the supporters group, it's only $4.99 a month, $4.99. And it gives you a great way to get more communication, kind of a behind-the-scenes look. The supporters group is an option right at the top of our Hubbard's Marina Facebook page. And we just dropped the link into the chat as well. Terry Feather, thanks for those 200 stars. Also, don't forget to comment. Let us know where you're watching from. If you're watching on TikTok, if you're watching on Trovo, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, it doesn't matter. Make sure you drop us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Richard Fonzo, appreciate those stars, buddy. Also, make sure you like the stream. If you're watching on one of those different platforms, make sure you like the stream, follow us, subscribe to us, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, LinkedIn, all those cool places, and make sure Twitter, and make sure you follow our pages. If you want to win some of the free trips we're giving away tonight, you do have to comment at least one time on the Hubbard's Marina Facebook stream. So hop over to Facebook, comment one time on the Hubbard's Marina stream on Facebook. So the Hubbard's Marina page, and then once you're there, you're entered to win a free trip. As long as you comment one time, anything you want on the Hubbard's Marina live stream, you're entered for a chance to win free trips. Keep in mind, we have had some kind of spam accounts after us as of late. So some people were falling victim to the oddly named Hubbard's Marina page that was trying to entice people to send them a message and give them a credit card. If you win a free trip with us, we say your name live on the stream, and you claim your free trip by texting us the phone number at the bottom of the screen there. And once you claim your free trip, we send it to you via your home address. So there's no reason that you should ever give a credit card. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to click anything. If you're watching the show live and you've commented once, you're entered for a chance to win. And then from there, all you have to do is watch the show live. And if you're chosen as the lucky winner, text our main office number, your full home address, and you got it. You got it. We'll mail it out to you. James D. McCullum, appreciate those 200 stars, buddy. Thank you so much. And Philip Cavanaugh with 1,200. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you for all the support, y'all. Now, with that, let's roll into the inshore photos and show you guys what we're catching inshore. Then we're going to work our way near shore and offshore, show you what we're catching near shore and offshore. Then we're going to talk about the weather and then get into your questions. And throughout the trip, throughout the night, throughout the show, we're going to be giving away some free trips as well. So we are live on TikTok tonight. Unfortunately, we still haven't been able to get the TikTok stream key. So because of that, we're just kind of rocking it low tech, and you're only getting to see the green screen behind me. So if you're watching on TikTok, keep in mind you can watch on Facebook, YouTube, and you'll get the full effect of the show. It'll look a lot better for you. So if you're watching on TikTok, keep in mind you can pop over to one of the other platforms. If you're watching on Instagram, you're only going to see the very middle of our studio screen. So if you watch on YouTube, Facebook, you'll be able to see the full screen. And then on TikTok, if you go to your phone's browser, Instagram.com, pull up the video there, you'll be able to turn your phone sideways and see the full screen. With that, let's get into these photos and show you guys what we're catching inshore. Right now, it is your last chance for mangrove snapper. The mangrove snapper action is going well. Has gone well all summer long, but it's that time of year where water temperatures start to cool off. And because of that, as water temperatures start to cool, then the mangrove snappers start to proliferate into other areas. Bigger mangroves move offshore, and smaller mangroves move back into the back bay waters. So this time of year, the concentration of mangrove snapper around our docks, around the bridge, around the jetties start to dwindle. So kind of your last opportunity for some mangrove snapper in good concentrations around local structures. As water temperatures cool off consistently, they kind of disappear on us. Nice redfish have been consistent, very consistent around the docks, pier, bridge, jetty. We've been seeing them a lot. This is Toria. Her and her husband were out there early this past week. They caught 60 redfish in just 2 days' time. They were stroking them. Live shrimp right along the jetty, catching anywhere from schoolie size to big bull reds. Jessica Hinkle, appreciate those 100 stars. Thank you so much. So the redfish movement is real. The jetty has been hot, especially early this past week. But still a few of them moving past the jetty. You still have a great chance for the redfish. Back bay waters, we're finding some schools of redfish. From what I'm hearing from Captain Mike, he won't be calling in tonight, but he did mention on the radio show this past weekend that towards the end of this past week, those schools started to kind of migrate, and the storm sent a lot of those schooling fish into the passes, onto the beaches, and ultimately near shore to spawn. Steve, what's up, buddy? Thanks for those 1,000 stars. O'Brien's Fishing Club. Look forward to chat with you guys January 11th. Thanks for the shout out, Steve. So the redfish bite's been real all around the area, still catching nice redfish. Sheep's head are starting to pick up. It's cooling off, and those sheep's head are going to get more and more prolific around docks, bridges, jetties, rock piles. So great opportunity for the sheep's head. Will only get better and better as temperatures cool off. The sheep's head bite heats up. Snook action, a lot of snook have moved out of the passes, off the beaches, but there's still a few around. As you can see, Taria here caught a nice snook, and there's been some really solid snook stacked up around the docks, but the big snook that I've seen caught this past week were actually by the guys up there working dry dock in Tarpon Springs, fishing behind the Florida fishermen on the Anclote River. Monster 38, 41, 42-inch snook are being caught right there behind the Florida fishermen in dry dock using whole dead mullet on the bottom. So a lot of the big snook have already moved into the rivers, creeks, bayous. And you can see here, this is one of our good friends that fishes around our greater Johns Pass area, and I talked to him quite a bit, and he moved into the Back Bay area. And further up in the bay you go, the more chances you have for snook for sure. But they're still around the beaches. They're still around the jetty, the bridge, but they're dwindling in numbers. The big fish and the majority of the fish are already retreating to the bayous, creeks, rivers, all that good stuff. Trout action's been kind of spotty, but we're seeing them mostly at night around bridge lights, dock lights at Johns Pass, but edges of the flats, some local bridges, you can definitely still find the trout. And that's about it for the inshore photos. We're going to work our way near shore and offshore now and show you guys what we're catching near shore and offshore. Remember, if you're watching on TikTok, you can pop over to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube to see the full effect of the show. TikTok's kind of low tech right now as we figure out the issue with our stream key. Looks like our camera feed is frozen, Josh. I look silly. But we're going to pop over to some inshore or some near shore and offshore photos and show you guys what we're catching near shore and offshore. The mangrove snapper bite's been pretty darn good. This is our friend Joe Vito from Temple Reef out there doing a lot of slow pitch jig fishing on the Flying Hub 2 in our long range trips, and they've been catching a lot of the mangrove snapper, surprisingly, on the slow pitch jigs, which is kind of unique because most of the time you don't see a lot of those mangrove snapper on the slow pitch jigs, but we've been seeing them more and more often. Last slow pitch jig fishing trip I was on, we did pretty well on, or trip before last I was on, we did pretty well on the mangroves, and we got another slow pitch jig fishing trip coming up, and looking forward to doing well once again. So here's to hoping. And now let's move on to our next photo, see what we got else to show y'all. The gag grouper bites still pretty popping out deep, and they've started to move inshore nice. Definitely more gag grouper on the move. The Tampa Bay gag grouper bite has been going really well. Near shore, we're starting to get more fish. Offshore, the big ones are still waiting around. This is the big news near shore. The mackerel have moved in big, big numbers. Prolific mangrove or mackerel along our beaches and passes, and we're seeing more and more of them being trolled up on our 5-hour half-day private fishing charters. And we caught our first kingfish this past week. Didn't get a photo of it because unfortunately it came unbuttoned right beside the boat, but the kingfish are here, and that's the big news. This is a near shore gag grouper caught on a very close to shore short private fishing charter to show you that the gags are moving in shallower. And the hogfish action, we've been seeing the hogfish action picking up, much like the sheep's head. As water temperatures cool, the hogfish bite heats up. And we're definitely looking forward to hopefully catching a lot of hogfish as the cooler months continue on. We're going to talk about weather next, and there is something in the forecast for this coming week that I think is going to really help the hogfish action and the gag grouper action and potentially help bring us the kingfish. But you can see here we're catching the gags near shore. We're still seeing some scamp out there in deeper water. Great opportunity to get out there on the water. Plus, it's that time of year where we're still a little light on the loads. It's starting to get busier now. A lot of our friends from up north are coming down, so we've had some healthier numbers as of the last few days, but overall still much slower than it is in spring and summer. These are some photos from our 12-hour night snapper trip. They crushed it on the 12-hour night snapper trip. 8 keeper gags. This gentleman on the left here, Bob, caught 31 keeper mangrove snapper. Obviously had to share them with a lot of people on the boat, but he's a pretty experienced expert angler, and he stroked the mangroves. Eric Seberg, appreciate those 200 stars. And Butch himself, I mean, not the greatest of anglers. Just kidding. Butch works with us, so I can pick on him a little bit. He himself got 2 keeper gags and some nice bycatch with it as well.
I think he stole those.
I think he did too. He told me someone gave them to him.
Yeah, he grabbed them at the bottom of the fish box.
He probably didn't catch them himself. Walter Barr, one of our regulars who fishes with us quite often, got a limit of grouper and a limit of mangrove snapper, along with some lanes and vermilions mixed in. So pretty awesome to see the bite really going well on that 12-hour night snapper trip. Joe Vito, what's up, buddy? Thanks for those 50 stars, Mr. Temple Reef himself. So with that, we showed you what we've been catching inshore, near shore. Now we're going to talk about the weather here real quickly. The weather has been pretty nice, and definitely, again, want to give a quick moment of recognition to our friends to the south, Fort Myers, Inglewood, Northport. I mean, they took it on the nose from Hurricane Ian. We were very blessed that track shifted kind of last minute and avoided and spared Tampa Bay utter devastation. But unfortunately, when our area dodges a storm, someone else takes it. And Fort Myers, Northport, Inglewood, that whole area just absolutely got crippled, just devastated. I know a lot of friends and a lot of people in the fishing industry lost their homes, their vehicles, their boats, their fish houses, their working waterfronts, all just destroyed. And it's really sad what's going on down there. They need a lot of help, and we're trying to do the best we can, identifying little donation collection sites. We've been trying our best to coordinate with people and really try to funnel what we can, where we can, as much as we can, but definitely keep that in the forefront, guys. I feel like a lot of people are just getting on with their lives, and yes, the hurricane didn't hit us. Yes, we can resume normal life, but a lot of people lost everything they had and own. So just keep that in the forefront, guys. And if you see anything about that, if you're moved, check out disaster. I think it's floridadisaster.org, but I'm gonna double check it real quick while I can. Yeah, floridadisaster.org is a great state-oriented website, so you're not going to find anything on floridadisaster.org that is a scam trying to steal money. You got to be really careful about that. A lot of these GoFundMes that pop up out of nowhere that are going around Facebook, kind of be wary of some of that unless you really know the person. But floridadisaster.org is a great place to find different programs, volunteer organizations, and just give time, energy, or money. So check it out, and definitely want to, before we get into weather and move on with this happy show, wanted to make sure we took a second and talked a little bit about that, because they need it. They need our thoughts and prayers. They definitely are dealing with something that is tragic and disastrous for sure. Brian Eakins, appreciate those 200 stars, buddy. All right, so we're going to get into the weather now, talk a little bit about what you guys want to hear, which is weather-wise. But Josh is right. We got to do our first free giveaway of the night. We're going to give away a free 10-hour all-day for 2 guests. 10-hour all-day for 2 guests. If you're picked as the lucky winner, remember how we do giveaways on this show. It's all verbal. I say your name pops up on that random name generator. You text us your full home address to our main office number at the bottom of the screen. We send you a certificate. You don't click on any links. You don't give any credit cards. So don't let spammers trick you after the show. All right? And Hubbard's Marina has a blue check mark. So if a Hubbard's Marina or a Hubbard Marina reaches out to you and they don't have a blue check mark, it's not us. So don't fall for scams. Don't fall for spam. We have a blue check mark. We don't ask you to give your credit card information to claim a free giveaway. So don't fall for it. Let's see who won a free 10-hour trip for 2 guests. Free 10-hour trip for 2 guests. Lucky winner is David Pruitt. David Pruitt, all the way from Georgia, Buford, Georgia. Congratulations, David. Thanks for watching. as always. Jeff Reedy, what's up, buddy? Appreciate those 200 stars, my brother. So now we're ready to talk about weather and get into what we're seeing on the old weather front. So with that, we're going to move over to hubbardsmarina.com. And on hubbardsmarina.com, click fishing trips, then scroll down, click weather links. That brings up this beautiful weather links page behind me. And that weather links page, I like starting on the wind finder forecast. The 5 and 10 hour forecast area is a good kind of gauge to show you what we're looking at weather-wise. And it was looking a little bumpy all the way through this coming week, but it's not terrible near shore. 5 and 10 hour areas shouldn't be too affected, and that's what it's looking like right now. So near shore, 10, 15, 20 miles out, it's 2 foot or less Monday or Sunday, Monday. And Tuesday, it calms down a little bit, about 1.5, 2 foot. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is the nicest day. Friday, wind picks up significantly, and those sea heights aren't right. Friday is the first significant cold front of the year. That's right, I said it. We've had a couple cool fronts. We've had some attempts to make us a little chilly, but we are going to get into the low 70s. And for us Floridians, Central West Florida, low 70s, that's borderline winter time. That is almost the dead of winter. It doesn't really get too terrible here, and we're definitely not looking forward to getting chilly, but it does dry us out, and it will get those hogfish moving, and it will bring the gag grouper inshore. It should bring us some kingfish. Scrolling down to the bottom of our weather links page, we have spaghettimodels.com, the ultimate storm forecast website. I love this page. I scroll down here, this third column, about 3/4 of the way down, we've got these prog charts. You can see here we have a low pressure, a cold front. I'd call this more of a cool front passing over our area today. It was virtually unnoticeable. Not really going to do much except for kind of keep the dry air, lower humidity chances around us. That cool front's going to move south of us, kind of become an occluded front, and then eventually get pushed away here Friday. You can see the big, bad cold front literally wrapping around from central north Canada all the way through the southeast, all the way back to South California. Monster frontal boundary, frontal ridge. So Friday is the first significant cold front of the year, and that's the big news weather-wise that we want to share with you tonight, because as that cold front approaches this week, it's going to get the fish excited. It's going to get us excited for the little cool down, and it's going to start moving things around. Fish are going to start moving. That's going to help the water temperature get even a little bit lower, and really going to keep us in that mackerel range. Water temps behind Ian were as low as like 76, and then all of a sudden they've creeped back up this week. Water temp was 79 yesterday, cruising around the intercoastal. So water temps creeping back up, but this little cool front will cool us back down and keep us in that mackerel range, which is good. Hopefully it'll prolong the amount of time mackerel are around, and it will hopefully entice the kingfish to show up, get those hogfish concentrated on the ledges, and also the hogfish too. So exciting stuff to see our first significant cold front of the year. Remember, that's Friday. So Friday is going to be a little bumpy, windy, and then it's probably going to last into Saturday, and then it's going to get better Sunday. And the fish should be biting really well Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday before that front hits. And then on the back side of the front there, probably like Sunday, it'll be good again. Sunday, Monday, once water calms down and clears up. Fish get really excited leading up to the front, and then a few days after the front, once water calms down and clears up, the fishing is super hot. So exciting stuff, y'all. First big cold front of the year. All right, so with that, let's roll into, I think it's time for questions. We're kind of ahead of schedule tonight. Might have some extra time for questions. Yeah, it is time for questions. Oh, before we do questions, I knew there was something I was forgetting. Upcoming events this Tuesday, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we're going to have our Bartow Ford Real Animals fishing conversation over there at Bartow Ford. It's going to be an awesome event. We've got free food from Silver Ring Cafe. We've got free giveaways from Ingle Coolers, Bull Bay Rods, potentially T.A. Mahoney's. I'm going to try to make it over there. We're going to have some free Hubbard's Marina swag as well. So great opportunity to come hang out with Captain Mike Anderson, listen to Captain Jeff Page give some artificial fishing secrets. This is the man, the myth, the legend, most tournament winning redfish captain around, Captain Jeff Page. Gonna definitely be a can't miss fishing conversation. That's this Tuesday night, October 11th, 6 p.m., Bartow Ford. See you there. Also, this coming Sunday, a week from today, October 16th at 2 p.m., we're going to be over at the Tampa Bass Pro Shops. So don't miss out. Tampa Bass Pro Shops, October 16th. We're going to be giving away a free 10-hour all-day for 2 guests, free 5-hour half-day for 2 guests. It's going to be a great time. So 2 big events this week that we hope you'll join us for. Now, let's get into some questions. So, who's got the first question of the night? Jose said, is there a chance red grouper and red snapper might open? Yes. Do I know? No. When will I know? I don't know. A lot of people asking about if red snapper is going to reopen. So there's a lot of confusion around too. Red snapper is going on now on the weekends only for private recreational anglers. So if you have your own boat or your buddy has a boat and there's no money exchanging hands and you have a FWC license with a state reef fish endorsement, you can go out on certain select weekends and keep red snapper on private boats. But it is only for private recreational anglers, so we cannot take part in that season. However, there is a slight chance or a decent chance or a good chance, depends on who you ask and what rumor you're listening to, that we could potentially have a federal for-hire red snapper season starting sometime end of October, I don't know, early November. But if that is going to happen, we should be hearing about it by about mid-October is what I've been told. So hopefully within the next week, we'll have some big announcements on our Facebook, YouTube, Instagram pages, letting you know whether or not a fall red snapper season is yay or nay. And then we'll also find out about potentially a increase or a few extra days for red grouper as well. So is there a chance for more red grouper days and more red snapper days this year? Yes. Do I know when we'll find out? No. Is it for sure? No. Don't have a lot of answers, but it is possible. I watched the YouTube video of you and Captain Frank talking about catching hogfish. One thing I don't remember him mentioning as far as the jig was concerned was best size. 2 ounce was the most popular size for the jigs. We sell the banana jigs in our shop, the Hubbard's Marina banana jigs by Rogge's Rigs. We sell them right in our shop. They work really well, so 2 ounce. We used to sell the naked ball jigs, and 2 ounce was the best option, but they're impossible to get since COVID. Like 2 ounce naked ball jigs just became a thing of the past. You really can't find them or get them anywhere. We did get an order of 2 ounce naked ball jigs a few weeks ago. We might have a few left on the shelf. I'm not sure, but they went really fast when we finally did get them in. But we have those Rogge's Rigs, the banana jigs. They're really, really cool, and I'd highly recommend checking those out. They have just as much success. A lot of people have been catching hogfish on them already, so I would check out the banana jigs for sure. Now, also, next question What do we got here? Sorry, I'm tardy. What's the expectations for snow crab season? I have no idea. Maybe they mean stone crab season. I would have.
Either way, bring us some.
Yes, I do not discriminate. I eat any sort of crustacean or seafood, really.
Definitely. I'll send everybody the address later to the studio. Dylan can come pick him up on his way home here.
Mark Toncray, appreciate those stars, buddy. Thank you very much. So stone crab season starts October 15th. You're actually allowed to put traps out. I believe it was October 5th or 7th, somewhere in there. You were allowed to start putting traps out, and you're allowed to pull your traps and harvest stone crabs starting October 15th. So come check us out at Don's Dock Wild Seafood at the east end of John's Pass Boardwalk, and we'll sell you some stone crabs come October 15th. So stop on down and buy some stone crabs from us over at Don's Dock Wild Seafood starting October 15th. And from the crabbers I've talked to, stone crab fishing is not going well in our area. But it's typical. Normally when season opens up, it's kind of tough, and then all of a sudden they move their traps around, someone finds the crab, and then they kind of follow the crab as it migrates north. So I think, north. So they're going to be following the crabs through the stone crab season. Snow crab season, I have no idea. That's I believe like Alaska, somewhere up there, up north somewhere. The Great White North. Don't have anything to do with snow crab in our area. There's no snow crab in Gulf of Mexico. The only fresh local crabs you can get in Florida would be blue crabs or stone crabs. And blue crabs are in the spring into summer. Stone crabs are in the fall into winter. How are things coming along with the Florida fishermen? Did the storm delay or put repairs and upgrades behind schedule? Yes and no. The Florida fisherman is much further ahead of schedule than normal in regards to things in our control. So normally when we come back from dry dock, like the decks aren't painted, we have a few things left to do on the boat. This time, everything's done. The boat's painted from the very tippy top to the very bottom, everything. I mean, the guys have been hammering it. The boat should be back in the water by the end of this week, and heading for Hubbard's Marina, hopefully in 2 weeks' time, and pretty much be right on target. The storm did mess us up on some of our subcontractors, like we pull the shafts out, we replace the cutlass bearings, we get the props remanned or replaced, and like the shafts, we bought new shafts that had to be engineered and worked through, and unfortunately, that got delayed with the storm because people weren't there working at their shops. So it was a little bit tricky, but all in all, we're still on target to finish on time. Are we going to be early? I don't know. That's still left to find out. But when it comes back, everything will be done. It's not like, we still got to do the next week. It'll be tight when it comes back, which will be nice. All right, next question. Let's see. Can you talk about what's going on with the dredge plans? So the money was allocated to do the dredge or to remove the sand buildup inside John's Pass, but unfortunately the money was allocated. It was given to the city and the county, and the county's kind of left with the ball in their court to kind of construct a program and help with the permitting and to really move the ball forward. And we're just not really seeing any movement. So I feel like we've got the money, we've got the motivation, and we're just waiting on the T's to be crossed and the I's to be dotted. The goal was to start the dredge November 1st on the backside of sea turtle nesting season. Will it happen November 1st? I don't think so. from what I'm seeing or what I'm not seeing, I don't think it's possible, but I hope so. Hopefully they'll get it done this winter because remember, sea turtle nesting season kind of starts in the spring and runs all the way through end of October. So if we get into like April or we get into even February, if they haven't started the dredge, they're not gonna until next winter, a whole nother year. So really, really, really hoping that they get it started this winter, but time will tell. We'll have to just wait and see, unfortunately, but who knows? All right, next question. The Nico jig used this past week where it was torn. I don't understand what that means. The Nico jig used this past week. The skirt was torn off after 3 jigs. Still getting some with your strength. Your strength in squid shrimp.
I think autocorrect got the best.
Yeah. Stan, I have no idea what your question is, buddy. Try it again. Send it again. Oops, stone crab. All right, so it was stone crab you were asking about. So I answered it right. What's the best month for hogfish on the 5-hour trip? Best months are October through around April, May. So it starts getting good now, and it really stays hot through around April, May. But it all depends on weather and where those fish are moving. But it's starting to heat up right now. We're starting to catch hogfish more and more often. All year we catch hogfish. But like in the summertime, when the water's hot, we might catch 2 or 3 hogfish, maybe 5 hogfish, or no hogfish. This time of year, we catch 5, 10, 15 hogfish, and definitely see them more frequently. So hopefully they get better and better, and we start catching more and more of them. What is being caught around John's Pass? So we talked about that a little earlier when we showed you the photos, but mainly the most commonly caught fish around John's Pass right now is redfish, followed by, I would say, sheep's head, mackerel, then probably snook. As far as quality fish that you're actually targeting, you're always going to catch your ladyfish, your catfish, that kind of thing. But definitely seeing a lot of redfish, sheep's head, and still a few snook, and flounder have started to pick up too. Glad to be finally back from Venice. Old salty cracker did well. Lost the port outrigger. Going to be back on the grid and plugged in. That's awesome. So someone outran the storm. Do you think they might give a couple more? What was the rest of that question? Sorry. Couple more weekends of red snapper due to the storm. As far as private recreational red snapper goes, that's different from federal for hire, and the state is really good about giving more days, providing more access if there's quota to be had. So if the quota is not filled up, if there's more private recreational quota, it'll definitely be opened up pretty quickly, and they'll just keep adding seasons to that private recreational season. So yes, they definitely will. Next question. How do vertical jigs work on a 12-hour extreme trip? Very good. Vertical jigs, slow pitch jigs, very commonly used and very efficient and effective when fishing beyond 100 foot of water. Also, the other part of that question was, do you catch hogfish past 100 foot of water? We definitely have the opportunity to, and some of the biggest hogfish that we've ever caught on our boats were all deep water. Is it common? No. The number of times that we've caught hogfish past 100 foot last year could be counted on one hand. We've maybe caught 8, or 2 hands, I guess. 8 hogfish maybe throughout the entire year past 100 foot of water last year. And we catch that many on a half-day trip in closer. Hogfish are most commonly targeted and caught between 30, 40 foot of water up to around 70, 80 foot. You can catch them 80, 90, 100 foot. Once you get past 100 foot of water, that's where really big hogfish are, but they're generally super leader shy, super unaggressive, and they're in areas where other more aggressive fish are much more prolific, so it's very hard to get them chewing. But in deep water, early morning, dawn and dusk, large live shrimp seems to be the best way to get one of those big hogfish to chew. So it does happen. When a big hurricane comes, where do fish go? That is a good question. They go to the largest structure around, just like you and I. What do you and I do when a big hurricane's coming? We seek shelter, right? It's innate. It's part of our instincts. And that's what fish do too. So, for example, behind a really big storm, everybody races out there to the biggest ledges. The biggest structure you have in your book is going to hold a ton of fish behind a really big storm, especially things like hurricanes, artificial reefs, big 5, 8, 10, 12, 20-foot ledges loaded down with fish. They congregate on larger structure to seek shelter. And a lot of times, behind a big storm where the water's all silted up and murky, they're almost like buried in the sand behind the storm. It's kind of comical, but they feed really well once the water calms down and then clears back up, for sure. What lure would you have on standby if some mahi showed up? A gotcha plug. A gotcha plug, a yellow bucktail jig are the two kind of go-tos for mahi. I like a gotcha plug, though, because it's a lot less likely that you're going to miss them. It's time to do another giveaway, and then we'll get into some more of your questions. If you want to win a free trip, remember you have to comment at least one time on our Hubbard's Marina Facebook stream. And you can still watch on Instagram, Trovo, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, but you have to comment at least one time on the Hubbard's Marina Facebook stream in order to be eligible to win. We're going to give away a free Salinity Gear gift pack. Salinity Gear gift pack. This is a long sleeve performance fishing shirt by the good people over at Salinity Gear, and they're going to throw in some stickers and mail it out to your house. So if you're the lucky winner, let us know if you want a hood on your performance fishing shirt and what size shirt you want, and then your home address. Text all that to that main phone number right on the screen. Let's see who the lucky winner is of the Salinity Gear gift pack. Winner is Bob Cole, who never received his notification that the live show started. Good thing you are paying attention, Bob, because you're the lucky winner tonight. So congratulations, Bob Cole. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm glad you caught the show. Because you're a winner of the Salinity Gear gift pack. All right, let's see. Is Thai Am any good? Just arrived for the week. I just ate Thai food. I am surviving off eating too much Thai food right before the show here. I love Thai food. It's like one of my favorites. Thai food, Indian food, seafood. I like all food. Who am I kidding? But Thai Am used to be really good. Used to eat there a lot. I would go to Thai Star. Thai Am, unfortunately, has really struggled since COVID, and now they don't even open their dining room. They've got like 3 people working there. Last time I ate there, it was unfortunately much less quality than what is typical from them. Thai Star is right there in Madeira Beach, kind of northern Madeira Beach. It's just north of Madeira Way, so a lot of people know where Saltwater Hippie is. If you're standing out front of Saltwater Hippie, you take a left, walk to Gulf Boulevard, and head down the east side of the street. It's like a block away. Thai Star is definitely the best Thai food within a rock throwing distance of Madeira Beach. My favorite Thai place in Pinellas County is Thai Basil in Clearwater. It's on Uber Eats. Check it out, Thai Basil. It's really, really good. But don't order it because I need it for me. All right, so getting off of the Thai food subject because that could go down a whole different path. What is the best bait to catch flounder, live shrimp, free-lined out there on the bottom? Actually, not free-lined. Lightweight shrimp to the bottom on the backside of structure. Flounder are ambush predators, and they are very, very smart and lazy. They ambush bait as it passes too close to the bottom behind structure. So Nicole Boris, Thai Basil is closed on Sundays, so I had Osaka Thai food tonight. Osaka is my favorite sushi restaurant. Their Thai is pretty darn good, too. I really like Osaka. They know me by name in there when I call. I go there a lot. But Osaka is where I ate tonight. It's very good as well. But I like their sushi more than their Thai food. So back to fishing. Sorry. Flounder, the best time is the cooler months. They really get the larger fish move near shore to some of our near shore artificial reefs and spawn out in the sandy patches on the outer edges of those reefs. And mud minnows from our back bay areas is a good option. A lot of people use like a knocker rig style setup with either a creek chub or mud minnow or a live shrimp, and you want to fish in the lee of the structure. If it's an outbound tide, you're letting your bait fall through that bridge and fall on the backside of the pilings where those flounder are going to be sitting on the bottom eating shrimp. Right on the backside of our outside pilings of our dock, we used to catch 2.5, 3 foot, 3.5 foot long flounder when I was a kid, right between the two pilings on the southwest side of our dock. I mean, you could catch a flounder every single cast there this time of year when the water used to be 12 foot deep. Now it's dry land, so obviously it's not good flounder fishing anymore, but our dock used to hold monster flounder this time of year. Been hunting, but I heard the bite's on. Yeah, the bite is definitely popping. This is my favorite time of year. People ask, what's the best time of year to go fishing? What's your favorite time of year to go fishing? This is it. Transitional periods around May and around the first 2 weeks of October is my favorite time of year. First 2 weeks of May, first 2 weeks of October, and that's because in May, it's not as cold anymore, but it's not hot yet. Lighter loads, not a lot of people around. Same thing first 2 weeks of October. It's not hot anymore, but it's not cold. There's not a ton of people around, and the bite is hot. Fish are moving. Things are happening. So it's a great opportunity for sure. Brandy, what's going on? Steve does owe you a fishing trip. President Steve of the O'Brien's Fishing Club. Get Brandy a fishing trip, man. Stop slacking. You got to treat your lady right. She wants to go fishing. Take her fishing. So that was a request in the text line, by the way. For those of you sitting there like, what is he talking about? Let's see. What's the next question? What would be the lightest leader for trolling on the 5 hour? So you really can use lighter mainline to your planer, even as light as 30, 40 pound to a planer. And then I would use about 40 pound between the planer and spoon. And I would use a bigger reel, like a 9/0 reel or a 2-speed reel. On a 5 hour trip, you can even get away with like a 2-speed Daiwa Saltiga. That would work well. But you need a stronger reel with a good low gear ratio or a 2-speed reel that you can put into low gear. And around 50 pound or 40 pound tests between the planer and spoon. So I see a lot of people talking about Thai food in the comments, and it's really, really distracting. So if you guys can help me kind of compile a list of your favorite Thai food places and shoot it to me in a message, I'd really appreciate it. So if you're just watching the show, like write some of these names down for me. I'd appreciate it. And shoot it to me in a message. Dude, I've been trying. I've tried see, we're not going down the Thai food path. Stop distracting me.
No Thai food.
Next question. I think we already answered this one. Did my bunk number 3 get fixed? Yes, definitely. It's not a Coast Guard requirement. Nice try, Mike. Let's see. How is the red tide this year? No red tide as of yet. Knock on wood. And hopefully we don't see it come back. So no red tide as of yet. We're excited about that. What's the best? Oh, we already answered that one. I love your show every week. You guys rock. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. The show is a lot of fun, and it's possible by our supporters, anybody in our supporters group, those of you sending stars, and, of course, our friends over at Gator Gyms. So thank you all for making the show possible, and all of you for watching to keep me inspired to keep doing it. It is a little bit of work for Josh and I every Sunday night, but we enjoy it. On the 12-hour slow pitch jigging trips, is fishing done while drifting? Yes, we are mainly drift fishing. Sometimes we do some anchor fishing. It's all slow pitch jig fishing. You can do some vertical jigging, some speed jigging, but it's mainly slow pitch jig fishing. What you can't do on those jigging trips is you cannot fish bait, because we're all jigging and it messes things up when you're sitting on the bottom and you're not keeping vertical. What other questions do we have? Do hogfish hang around structure mostly? No. They hang in conjunction with structure. So smaller ledges, areas of flat hard bottom with sea fans, even shell bottom will hold hogfish, but they're always near a ledge. So if you got a little ledge here, they might be 25, 50 yards this way. They might be 25, 50 yards this way. You never know, but they're going to be somewhere around some structure. They're not going to venture too far from hard bottom or structure. How are things going with dry dock, and are the fishing club discounts good for upcoming slow pitch jigging? I don't know what fishing club discounts they're talking about. We don't have any fishing club discounts really, other than the Regulars Club membership. The Regulars Club membership is going to be good on any of our specialty trips or day trips. It kind of varies a little bit. But the slow pitch jigging trip is kind of a unique trip. We're not going to be honoring like weird off-the-wall discounts, but if you get a discount on our regular trips, it would apply to that as well. Next year, some of our limited load trips will be a little bit more expensive. This year, they're the same price as our normal trips. What is the best time of year to fish for pompano at the pass? It's coming up. I mean, it's coming up now. We start to see pompano pretty good in the fall. Pompano aren't really my expertise, but I always did well with pompano spring, summer, and into the fall. Spring and fall kind of being peaks. But to be honest with you, I am not the pompano expert. That's just what I recall off the top of my head. I would honestly have to look it up to see the peak pompano time because it's not something I do, not something I specialize in. Let's see. If you really like spicy food, you should do the one chip challenge near the end of a show one night. I really like spicy food, and it doesn't really bother me. I've thought about doing the one chip challenge, but Smokey just did it recently, and hearing his tale of how bad it was made me kind of talk myself out of it. But I've seen it at the register and thought about it before. Yeah, the Packy chip. It's like $8 for a single chip.
The blue one was pretty hot.
That is a good idea. I'll probably do that on the supporter show. Because I'd probably be cussing a lot. Have you eaten it, Josh?
Yeah.
You did eat it?
Yeah.
Did you eat it?
I ate it. I couldn't breathe. I went outside. I chugged a gallon of milk. And
I don't think your microphone's on.
I chugged a gallon of milk. I went outside. I couldn't breathe. Thought I was dying. Sat on the toilet and screamed even more. Cried even. Yes.
was
You cried?
yeah.
Oh
if
my
you ever
gosh,
had
that sounds
never
epic.
mind. If fire coming out the backside, like.
All right. Yeah, definitely sounds like a supporters after show video.
It's bad for about an hour, and then after that, it's fine.
Oh
it's the
yeah,
next day that
that
gets
sounds
you.
totally enjoyable.
It's the next day that gets you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll check it out. That sounds like it's at the top of my to-do list for sure.
I mean, I'll go to the store right now.
All right. What's our next question? What's the best bait or lure to catch kingfish and Spanish mackerel on a 5-hour trip? It's a planer and spoon. We sell them right in our shop, and we'll get you set up. We'll help you get set up. So come on down to the shop. We sell them right there. We'll help you get them set up on your rod, and we'll show you what to get. A number 1 planer, a drone spoon. We have them right in the office where you check in for your trip. So come out, see us, and we'll help get you set up. What's our next question? Let's see here. Bob, oh no. Have you thought about running a high-speed trolling trip for Wahoo in the winter's months? Kind of hard because you have to have a boat that runs high speed. The only boat that we could do a high-speed trolling trip at 1820 would be the Flying Hub 2, and to go that speed, we'd have to kind of slow the boat down. It's not something we do on our boats. Those high-speed trolling trips are kind of those planing haul inboard diesels, the big sport fishermen's. We don't have a boat that does that kind of speed because the Flying Hub 2 goes too fast, the big party boats go too slow, the Hub doesn't have the range. So we just don't have a boat to do that high-speed trolling. But it is pretty cool. And we do know captains who can get you set up for that. So if you want to do some Wahoo trolling trips in our area, we definitely know the people to do it. So shoot us a call, and we can get you set up. Is it about that time? I think we have another time. We have time for one more question. Let's get in one more question, then we'll wrap things up and give away our last free trip of the night. Did we give away our 5-hour and our 10-hour?
We gave away a 10 and a shirt. We have a 5.
Oh, we still have a 5. All right, we better give a 5-hour away before we wrap it up then. You're right. Let's do our 5-hour half day for 2 guests. 5-hour half day for 2 guests. Lucky winner is Chris Harrell. Congratulations, Chris. We appreciate you watching, and thanks for watching from Bradenton, Florida. Chris Harrell. Remember, you got about 5 minutes or less to claim the free trip by texting us at the phone number at the bottom of the screen. Let's see. One more question. What's the best moon phase for hogfish? See, this one is what sometimes frustrates me. And I'm not frustrated at the person who asked the question. It's more so people get so hung up on, oh, the moon phase, or oh, the water temperature, or oh, the time of year, or oh, it's not this month to go fishing. Remember, guys, there's 30 variables that dictate whether or not fishing is going to be good. I'm being facetious. I just pulled a number off the top of my head. But water clarity, salinity levels, chlorophyll levels, thermocline, surface currents, vertical currents, bottom currents. There's moon phase. There's different barometric pressure. There's moving barometric pressure. There's different altimeter readings. I mean, there's a huge number of variables that affect the fish and affect whether or not the bite's going to be good. So to say this is the moon phase that hogfish bites best is false, because you could go out there on that moon phase and one of these other variables is off and you're not going to catch them. So I would say daytime fishing is best for hogfish. So right before a full moon, a few days after a full moon, the quarter moon phases, even a few days before the new moon or on the new moon would all be good options. There's really not a good moon phase that is like, this is the day this month you should be fishing, because there's so many other variables that go into it. But typically a full moon makes daytime fishing a little bit softer. especially early morning and through mid-morning daytime fishing close to a full moon. A few days leading up to a full moon, daytime fishing can be good. A few days after a full moon, daytime fishing can be good. New moon, it's the opposite. Nighttime fishing is not as good around a new moon. 1 or 2 days before, 1 or 2 days after, but it can be really good leading up to it. So it's just one of 12 to 15 variables that you look at and monitor. So you can't get too hung up on moon phase, and I would encourage you to avoid it. It's always helpful to kind of keep a log of this is what worked really well, but I always recommend looking at that and referencing that after you go fishing. You get back from a trip and you're like, man, today was really tough. And then you look at the weather. What happened today? All right, the moon phase was this. The water temperature was this. I was fishing this area. I was fishing this trip. I was using this technique. And then over time, you can look back and, hey, this was a really good day, and the water clarity was this, the water temperature was this, the moon phase was this, and then over time, you can pick up on trends. But look at that after you go fishing, keep records of it after you go fishing, and then over time, you can start looking forward. But definitely don't get too caught up on it because it's only one variable. All right, so don't forget, check out our supporters group if you haven't already. It's only $4.99 a month. It's cheaper than a cup of coffee, and it's a whole month-long membership to the greatest club there ever was on Facebook. It gets you a lot of behind-the-scenes action. It gets it gets admittance to our private supporters after show, which is always a good time. And you get some behind-the-scenes stuff, some advance notice on stuff, and more communication. So definitely check out the Supporters Club. Again, it's only $4.99 a month. We're going to drop the link into the comments. So hopefully you'll get a chance to check it out and join us again in the Hubbard's Marina Supporters Club on Facebook. Now, also, don't forget to check out our friends over there at Gator Jim's Tackle, 3301 Pinellas Point Drive South in St. Pete. If you haven't checked out Gator Jim's Tackle, you're missing out. It's awesome. They got all the inventory in the world. Nice people. Really, really good people over there. So check out Gator Jim's Tackle. Tell them Hubbard's Marina sent you. Also, besides that stuff, make sure you like us on TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. We got a lot of Trovo, Twitch, Waypoint TV, Fishbrain, Nextdoor app. We got a lot of different social medias out there, and would appreciate you liking, following, and stalking all of them to make sure you don't miss anything. And make sure if you see something posted from us, if you see us post a photo on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, like it. Remember, if you see something posted by a friend or a business that you enjoy seeing their content, you want to see their content on social media, and you don't engage with it, you don't click on it, you don't like it, you don't comment on it, eventually you'll stop seeing it. That's how social media works. They only show you what you're interested in. If you click on it, if you like it, if you comment on it, you'll see more of it. So if you see something posted by Hubbard's Marina and you like us at all, if you enjoy fishing, if you like our shows, if you feel bad for us, like and comment on our posts. Really, really important, super appreciated. It also helps us to reach more people, so you're doing me a huge favor. And if you want to do me a favor, like every post, comment on every post, even if it's a little thumbs up, an emoji. You don't have to say something. Just give me an emoji and a like. I really appreciate it. Pretty please. Also, don't forget to check out the Tuesday night Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversation, 6 p.m. this Tuesday night at Bartow Ford. This upcoming Sunday, a week from today, 2 p.m., Tampa Bass Pro Shops Fishing Conversation, 8:30 p.m. every Sunday night, right here for our live stream show. Don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Let's see who won our 39-hour fishing trip for one lucky winner. Then our supporters after show is going to kick off at 9:15 9:55 p.m. So if you want to sign up for a supporters group, you can join our private supporters after show every Sunday night right after our main show. So check it out. It's pretty cool. It's well worth it. Hopefully you'll become a supporter today. And let's find out who won the 39-hour fishing trip for one lucky winner. Let's see who the lucky winner is. Danny Lopez. Congratulations, Danny Lopez from Palm Harbor. Appreciate you watching, brother, and checking in from Palm Harbor. Congratulations on the lucky win. Hopefully we'll see you all soon at Hubbard's Marina for some deep sea fishing fun. And hopefully you'll get a chance to check out our TikTok, our Snapchat, and all that good stuff. And follow us on all our social medias, Trovo, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, all that stuff, man. Y'all have a good night. Tight lines. We're out. We're starting that supporters after show at 9:55 p.m. We hope to see you there.